I breathe in, I breathe out. And bringing your hands to the fronts of the legs, bend the knees, and slide the hands down towards the ankle, tipping the pelvis towards the thighs, and then slide back up. And keep going like this. And then come back up to standing. And as you inhale, float your right arm up. And as you exhale, float it down. And the left arm, inhale and exhale. And just keep going one side and then the other. And rather than thinking about are my bones and muscles aligned properly, just see if you can feel your energy flowing. Ask yourself, is my prana flowing freely? Or are there some places where it is blocked? So the next time the right arm comes up, go ahead and hinge over, lengthening the side bodies and come back to center. And then the left arm hinging over and back to center. So just extending that flow of prana. And you can think about the breath moving prana. Prana is a word in Sanskrit that gets used in several different ways. I think there's probably not really a good English translation for the word. But prana means the breath, as in pranayama. And it also means the energy that flows through us. And that energy is directed by the breath. And sometimes it gets blocked by the body. And so we're just looking for those places where, it's not completely blocked, but you're feeling some resistance. And just doing the work to keep that prana open and flowing. One more time, each side. And then come back up to standing and step your feet apart a little bit. And let's do those figure eights with the hips. So imagine at your feet there's a figure eight laying sideways. And so you're going to bring your right hip forward. So it's kind of a little twist. You push the hip forward and then you bring it around to the back. And then the left hip comes forward. So I'm exaggerating so you can see. And the left hip comes back, right hip forward, press it forward, roll it back, left hip forward, roll it back, and just keep making that lazy figure eight. And this does the same thing or similar to those hula hoop circles, but it moves into the hip joints in a more three-dimensional way. And it's also a little bit more of a challenge to the ankles and distributing the weight around the four corners of the feet. And when you're ready, you can reverse that. So bringing the right hip back and then around to the front, and the left hip comes back and then forward, right hip back and forward, left hip back and forward. And again, just making that lazy figure eight. And then bring that to a close. And let's do wood chopper, which is one of my favorites. You know, we're in the middle of another kind of a major transition as we transition out of being so isolated and back into going out and being around people. And that's actually fairly anxiety provoking for a lot of us. Uh, and so sometimes it helps to just have some yoga poses that help you just diffuse a lot of caged up energy. So lacing your hands together like this, inhale, lift the arms up, and as you exhale, bend the knees, bring your hatchet down and go ha. We'll go about 8 times. Ha, 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 ha. Ha! Last one, ha! And then come to standing. So make sure you're making that noise, unless you're somewhere where you're going to wake a baby or really disturb somebody. It's to your benefit to make that ha noise really loud and sharp to open up the throat chakra, which gets blocked when we're not allowed to speak our minds freely. Go ahead and lace your fingers. Here we go again. Inhale. Ha, 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 ha. Last one. Ha. And then stand and just notice. So this experiencing the VPOC, the energetic after effect of the pose, is really important. And you might find yourself experiencing energetic after effects of other things. For example, if you eat a really delicious, well-prepared, well-balanced meal, you'll have a very satisfied VPOC or after effect of consuming that meal. And if you eat a happy meal, you'll get the McBrick, right? You'll have a VPOC where you may not feel as good. So we're going to go one more time. Here we go. Inhale. Ha, 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 ha. Last one. Ha. And then come up to stand. And bring your feelings. So the VPOC can be any sensation that you are feeling, whether that's heat, whether that's nausea, whether that's feeling like laughing, crying, it can be anything. Now we're going to do breath of joy. So standing in mountain pose, inhale, bring the arms across, exhale, fling them down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale, exhale, cross, down, up, down. And the breath is a little sniffing breath through the nose, if you can manage that. So it's last one. And then stay here. And again, notice the VPOC. It will be different. And sometimes the VPOC is such that you can't even really describe it, nor should you try. You don't really want to verbalize it because that takes it outside of your body. You just want to feel it. Just notice. You don't have to describe it. One more time like that. Cross, down, up, down, cross, down, up, down, cross, down, up, down, cross, down, up, down. last one. And then again, stay here and breathe. Now bring your hands low on your hips and with straight legs, hinge forward and lift up. So coming in and out of half forward folds. So the first couple, really you're just checking in with yourself, and then you can begin to look for those edges for where you are in your body today. And then come back up to standing and bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. And this time, inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bring the arms down and then rotate the palms towards the wall behind you. Rotate back. Inhale up and exhale down the midline. Inhale the arms down and up. Exhale out to the sides, down in like this jet plane position. Rotate, rotate up, down the midline. A few more times like this. See if you can feel the prana flowing with the breath. Let's go one more time. So now let's add that half forward fold with the arms. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms to that jet plane position, hinge forward, rotate the palms up. Engage the belly, strong lift up. You want to feel the muscles lifting you up. Bring the hands down the midline. You want to feel your muscles working. Don't use the momentum of the movement. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. If you use the momentum, you're building a lot of stretch and no strength. And we want the strength to counterpose the stretch to protect the musculoskeletal structures. Exhale, hinge forward. There's an idea that yoga is all about getting really, really stretchy and limber. And that is part of yoga, but the other part is developing the strength to support that stretchiness. And so see if you notice those two opposing forces in your body at the same time, working together, strength and stretch. And the body is stronger and healthier when that occurs. Just like we hold relaxed effort, two opposing forces as we work through the practice. Now go ahead and come all the way up, bring the hands down the midline, and come back to mountain pose. Stay here and breathe. And now bring your hands back to the hips. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, but you can keep right where you are. And hinge forward into that half forward fold. And then get as deep as you can with the flat back. And then release, looking between the knees, full forward fold. Come back up to the half forward fold. And come all the way up to standing. So here that strength is really important. Hinge forward, engage the belly, lengthen, then release the upper back so you're laying your torso as close to the thighs as you can, and then come back to the half forward fold and back few more times like this, hinging at the hips, releasing forward, coming back up to half, coming all the way up to standing. One more time like that. So most of the forward fold is really in the half forward fold. Now bring your hands to the heart center. We're going to add arms to the full forward fold. We're not going to stay in the full forward fold. We're just going to go there and come right back up like we just did, but with arms. So inhale the arms up. And as you exhale, swan dive forward. So here's that half forward fold. Then release the upper back, release the arms, sweep the fingertips towards the earth, come back to that flat back, and come all the way back up. And bring the hands down the midline. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Find the half forward fold, release into the full forward fold, back to half forward fold, and then using the strength of the belly and the legs up to standing, hands down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Up. And exhale, let's go once more. Bringing your hands down, and again, just stay here and breathe, noticing how you're feeling. And then step your feet out wide on the mat and bring your hands low on your hips and just twist in the hips from side to side. And so we're just moving the leg bone in the hip socket here. You don't want to twist real hard or real far. We're just trying to get the body to produce that synovial fluid, that lubricating, anti-inflammatory substance that our bodies produce. Your body will produce a lot when you're young, and as you age, you produce less of it. And then bring that to a close, hands on the fronts of the legs, bend the knees, slide down and up, tipping the pelvis towards the thighs. And as you come up, notice how you use a little bit different leg muscles when the feet are far apart. This. And one more time. And then come back up to standing. And turn your right toes out towards the short end of the mat, and your left toes are facing the long end of the mat. Press into the feet, square your hips to the long end of the mat. So you might have to turn so that you're on your mat properly and move your device. So pressing into the feet, bend the right knee and bring the arms up. Bring the knee right over the ankle in line with the second toe for warrior two. And then come back to straight. Really pay attention here. A warrior two should feel different today than it felt the very first time you ever did it. You should be able to feel the muscles, the rotator muscles actually really activating in both legs in different ways. And also that core strength, so the root block, the muscles of the pelvic floor, and the pit of the belly, or Uddiyana Bandha. Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha should engage and release as you're going through the practice. So whenever you need more strength, they engage, and when you don't need all that strength, they release so that they're ready to re-engage. You don't just want to engage them and hold them. Now, the next time you come into Warrior Two, stay here. Bring the right arm in, the left arm up and over in side angle pose, and then back through Warrior Two and reverse Warrior. And back through Warrior Two, side angle, and reverse Warrior. One more time, each pose. Here's reverse. And then come back to Warrior Two, stay here. Lower the arms, straighten the legs, heel toe, and step in. And just rock from side to side. And bring your feet right under your hips in mountain pose. Bring your hands to the heart center. Let's do Utkatasana 3 times. So inhale the arms down and up. And as you exhale, bend the knees. Draw the hands down the midline. Inhale as you press back up. And exhale your hands to the heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, coming into Utkatasana. Inhale, up, and exhale. One more time. Bringing your hands down, just taking a few breaths. And then stepping your feet out in Warrior Two. This time you're going to turn your left toes out so the whole leg rotates. We talk about the foot and the toes, but the whole leg rotates. When the leg rotates, the hips want to do this, but in Warrior Two, your hips are actually facing this way. So you have to engage the muscles, the rotator and the root lock and the pit of the belly, all of that. To hold your pose here, and even more so as you slowly bend that left knee. Feel those rotators engaged. Don't let that right hip come forward. Knee over ankle and back to straight. Pay as much attention to how the knee straightens as you pay to how it bends. Be really careful about locking or hyperextending the knee because that puts unnecessary pressure on the knee joint. So if you have a tendency to lock your knee, you're really better off leaving it just bent a little bit until you can learn how not to do that. And we do have some techniques for that. They're hard to teach on Zoom. So this repeated effort, this pose, counter pose, the next time you come in, stay here. It just gives you an opportunity to practice, for the muscles, to get that muscle memory down. And now, dancing warrior, the left arm comes in, the right arm comes up and over as you come into side angle pose. And then back through Warrior Two and reverse Warrior. So keep going like this. And one of the reasons this slow movement is so healthy for us is that it actually nourishes the central nervous system. So it gives you a chance to slow down, to get in touch with your body, to give yourself time to experience all sensation as it comes up, and then to feel comfortable and peaceful in your own body. We'll go one more time each side. And when you're in a yoga practice, you don't have to go as deep as you can go. You don't have to push. You can focus on the alignment and the pranic flow and the breath. Come back to warrior two, stay here. And you'll get a whole lot out of that practice. Lower the arms, straighten the knee, heel toe, step in. And when you're really tired, you're feeling worn out and fatigued, that's what you need. You need that something a little more restorative and supportive. Now, if you're full of energy and ready to go, then something more dynamic might be what you need. Okay, so go ahead and bring your feet into Tadasana, hands to the fronts of the legs, and let's slide down and up 3 times. And then let's go into Utkatasana 3 times. So inhale up, exhale down the midline, inhale back up, and exhale. Inhale up, down the midline, inhale up, and exhale. Once more. And standing in mountain pose. So now go ahead and bring your right foot forward and your left foot back in a warrior one. Right foot forward, left foot back, press into the 4 corners, square your hips to the short end of the mat, and that back foot is turned out a little bit. And let's just come in and out of warrior one. So bend the right knee, arms come up, and back to straight. So your muscles should feel just as strong and engaged here as they do here. So feeling embodied through the entire practice, through the entire pose, counter pose. Now, the next time you come to warrior one, stay here. Bring your arms to the front, palms together. Slide the left hand across the right arm. Keep that left knee where it is. Keep looking over the right hand, but open the hips and the arms out to warrior two. Bring the arms up, come back to warrior one. And again, arms down, palms together, sliding the left hand across the arm, open slowly into warrior two. Your warrior two will feel different from if you just stepped into warrior two. Arms up. But chronically, energetically, your body should feel the warrior two. One more time. Palms together. Sliding open. Arms up. Back to the front. Hinging forward. Stepping forward and back or forward. And just rock from side to side. And then bring that rocking to a close, and the left foot comes forward, the right foot back, pressing into the 4 corners, straight legs, square hips to the short end of the mat. And as you inhale, bend the left knee, the arms come up. And exhale to straight. going like this. Inhaling here. And exhale. One more time, forward and back. And the next time you come forward, stay here. Bring the arms forward, palms together, sliding the right hand across the left, opening the right hip, looking over the left fingers, coming towards warrior two. Arms come up, pivot back to the front, warrior one. Arms forward, palms together, sliding open into warrior two. Arms up, back to warrior one. One more time, palms together, warrior two. Arms up, pivot forward, bring the arms down, hinge forward, stepping forward and back, and rock from side to side. So let's come down onto our backs and just do a little bit of stretching on the floor before we go into Shavasana. So make your way onto your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and lengthen the upper back and release the shoulders, release the arms, relax totally and completely, and take a few breaths here. Now, bring the right knee into the chest, right hand on top of the kneecap, and just make some big circles go in one direction. So, we work those hips a little bit, and we just want to show them a little appreciation. So this, at this point, is to soothe the hips and to, it's also just sort of a test of the range of motion. So if you have tight hips, this can help open them up a little bit. And then we're going to go back the other way, reversing those circles. And then bring that to a close. Flex this foot, press the right foot straight up to the ceiling. Be as straight as you can in the knee, and point and flex the toes. So you really want to work into the feet. The feet are so important for balance that you have flexibility in them. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, make big ankle circles going in one direction. And when you're ready, you can reverse, going back the other way. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, bend the knee into the chest, lace your fingers over the shin, and straighten the left leg, flex both feet. And just take a few breaths here in this jackknife position. And release the right foot down on the mat. Bend the left knee, bring your hand on top of the left kneecap, and start with these big hip circles. Going all around. And when you're ready, you can reverse those circles, going back the other way. Make sure you're moving slowly enough so that you feel a sense of comfort and ease in the movement. And then bring that to a close and flex the foot and press it up to the ceiling, reaching through the heel. And point and flex the toes, really stretching into the feet. So paying attention to where the resistance is and seeing if it will release just a tiny bit. That's really how progress is made. Little tiny micro changes over consistent practice over a long period of time. Now flex the foot, reach through the heel, make big circles with the foot. And when you're ready, you can reverse, going back the other way. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, bend that left knee into the chest, lace your fingers over the shin, straighten the right leg, lengthen in this jackknife position. And when you're ready, bend the right knee in and just rock from side to side, massaging the low back. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to lower one foot and then the other and make your way into Shavasana. Get any yoga props you would like to have and drop into the breath.